Hi, thanks for joining me on this week's In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. I'm Eric Marsh, Executive Director of Whitewater Community Television, and I appreciate you joining us for this special In Focus program. It's kind of a special In Focus program because normally this is a conversation, questions and answers. The first half of this program is going to be dialogue. The mayor has once again, after taking last year off from doing his State of the City, not because he wanted to, but because the pandemic was just really getting underway, has decided once again to use the In Focus program as a way of speaking to you and letting you know what is on his mind. We'll get him back at a later date, as we always do, so that we can sit down for 90 minutes, unpack it all, and take some of your questions. We appreciate you joining us for this In Focus program. I hope you stick around for the second half of the show. But to give him as much time as he needs, bring in Richmond Mayor Dave Snow with the State of the City address.
Good evening. Thank you, Eric, and thank you to everyone here at WCTV. You know, our local media partners have played a crucial role in informing and educating us throughout the last year. These past 13 months have been a once-in-a-lifetime challenge for all of us. And I want to take this time to thank our Common Council members, our city team, and other community leaders for their work to keep our city moving. We've been humbled and empowered by the community efforts that we've seen as you have all found ways to reach out and help each other. Throughout this challenge, too often it has been the disputes that have been highlighted rather than people's sense of empathy and our sense of community that have continued to inspire all of us during this challenging time. Tonight we begin with the very topic that has dominated many of our conversations and many news stories throughout the year, the COVID-19 pandemic. Although it's a subject that we have discussed at great length, and it is still imperative that we not allow the frequency of the topic to desensitize us to its impact. COVID-19 has brought with it a seismic shift to our local economy, a dramatic change in how we gather and move about our day, and has taken a toll on our physical and mental health as a community. At its best, it has served as a calling to those who have servant leadership in their hearts to rise up and push through the confusion and the chaos to reach out and help those in need. We've seen individuals and organizations within our community step up and truly embody the Hoosier spirit through their service. Our doctors, nurses, teachers, first responders, and essential and critical care workers have given so much of themselves to keep our city and our county moving forward. Each of them deserves our respect and gratitude. At the pandemic's worst, it has taken our loved ones from us, cutting our time with them short and leaving us feeling frustrated and helpless against this relentless illness. We take time tonight to mourn their loss and to keep working together as citizens, community leaders, and healthcare professionals to all do our part to reduce the spread of COVID-19 and to keep our spirits high as we look ahead. There's no doubt that we will overcome this and will begin to return to the events and the gatherings that we've all missed, and will be able to do so without fear that we're putting our loved ones in harm's way. Today, with current availability, registering to receive a safe and effective COVID-19 vaccine is easy. Go online to ourshot.in.gov and click on the red bar that says Find a Vaccination Site and Register. As the vaccine continues to be made available to more people, we must do our part and take the shot for our personal health and the health of those around us. Continuing to wear our masks, wash our hands, social distance, and getting the COVID-19 vaccine is the recipe for success against this virus. When we talk about the impact of COVID-19, the City of Richmond government has not gone unaffected. In planning for our 2021 budget, it was necessary to cut $1 million from over 2 years from our Motor Vehicle Highway Fund. This is the fund we utilize to repair our local streets, sidewalks, and curbs. It's also the fund we use to leverage dollars from the state in our community crossings grant applications. Additionally, we saw a reduction of several $100,000 from our general fund, which is the common fund amongst our city government offices. Due to long-term financial planning and the dedication of city employees, we were able to weather this storm, and we're as committed as ever to serving you to the best of our ability. A reduction in income does not come without its impact, and we've worked to absorb that impact administratively within our offices. we've greatly reduced travel and training, capital and construction costs, and worked to limit overtime. We do this because it is your tax dollars that fund our city operations, and it's of the utmost importance to all of us that your tax dollars always be prioritized to serve you. We may not be as agile in 2021 and even part of 2022 as you've come to expect. However, we are a financially healthy city, and we'll keep working hard to meet your needs and keep our city clean, safe, and vibrant. Let's talk specifically about what some of our departments are doing today, even through these tough times, to work for you and ensure that Richmond continues to rise. Through this year of quarantine and social distancing, we've seen a spotlight on the critical role parks play in public health. Our parks offer you an opportunity to safely engage in recreational activities of all kinds. Our parks team has done a phenomenal job at maintaining and fostering our city parks for you, even installing a new playground in the historic Star neighborhood after a vigorous crowdfunding campaign. It's projects like this that bring us as a city team the most joy, when we can see our collective hard work come to fruition and greatly improve the morale and safety of one of our beloved neighborhoods. And we can't talk about our Parks Department without discussing our farmers market. At the early onset of the pandemic, restrictions came about and we set out to modify our essential service to keep it open and safe for our community. Our farmers market has grown leaps and bounds and has not only become an indispensable resource of fresh produce, meats, and art to the people of Richmond, but has also become a destination for those who want to visit and take in what we offer as a city. As you know, our summer farmers market is held in beautiful Elstro Plaza. Our winter market, having changed locations several times, has finally found a permanent home in Star Jeanette Plaza. Thanks to tremendous community partnership, we were able to add heating and air, removable window covers, and other amenities to that historic building, making it a year-round showcase for countless events, big and small. It's also important we highlight a highly requested project in Elstro Plaza. Later this year, you'll finally be able to enjoy some shade in Elstro as you spend time with your family listening to music or just enjoying a summer day in what has quickly become one of our most popular parks. These new shades will be installed soon, and we're really excited about how they'll further enhance Elstro Plaza. As we move forward, our Parks Department will continue working from their community-driven master plan, and they'll keep working to give you safe and clean access to the beautiful, natural amenities that shape Richmond. Another department that has continued their needed work in our city is our street department. Maintaining our roads is not only essential to public safety, it's also a key factor in economic development. Since becoming mayor, our street department has paved or repaired almost 40 miles of city streets. And through smart budgeting and our partnership with the state, we've received $3.5 million and an additional 34 miles in paving and repair through our partnership with the state-led program called Community Crossings. This means that in total, we have touched over 70 miles of streets in Richmond. That accounts for a staggering 40% of all Richmond roads in just a handful of years. Now, we all know road construction is never pleasant. However, we also know that cities that choose to invest in infrastructure are the cities more likely to attract visitors, those looking to relocate, and those that want to come with outside investment. When you couple the work that our street department has done on the roads, along with picking up leaves, clearing snow off our streets, maintaining sidewalks and curbs, all of the required work on our street trees, plus responding to general maintenance needs, it's easy to see this is a phenomenal amount of work they have accomplished. Everyone in that department is to be highly commended for their continued dedication to the service they provide. But what would be the good of repaired streets if they're not clean? This is where the hard work of our sanitation and code enforcement departments come into play. Each day they strive to keep our sidewalks, streets, and alleys clean, compliant, and safe for the citizens of Richmond. They, along with all of our departments like transit, planning, and finance, have gone above and beyond to keep working through recent difficulties. Amidst a year of global disruption, unlike some cities, Richmond has seen continuous service thanks to their dedication and their diligence. And as we talk about those who have really risen to the moment during this tough time, I think we would all agree that our first responders have had seemingly insurmountable challenges that they have faced with courage and stalwart devotion to their oath to protect our city. Our fire and EMS department, as they always do, put their personal safety aside and forged headfirst into the dangers surrounding them to treat and transport those in need. As traditional protocols began to show risk in the midst of a pandemic, they were able to adapt and evolve into even safer procedures to ensure we would have a healthy department to keep serving Richmond. Our fire and EMS service remains top-notch, and today, through training and hard work, our response time to any location within Richmond has improved drastically to just under 3 minutes, a shining example in the state of Indiana. As we look to the future of our fire and EMS department, right now, a new 10,500 square foot training center is being built at the Israel Izzy Edelman Training Facility on South 8th Street. This new training center will not only allow our local fire and police to further hone their training with up-to-date equipment and educational modules, but will also become a hub for training other departments around the state. The planning, design, and work that has gone into this center is a testament to not only the dedication to the service that our brave first responders adhere to every day, but their vision for a stronger and even more efficient department for future leaders. We're excited to finish up this project and share with you the results of many years of preparation. And I hope you'll join us on July 30th for the official ribbon cutting of this new training center. This will be a special day for all of us as we commemorate the hard work that has brought this training center to reality and take time to show our gratitude for the work our first responders do as we look ahead. As we talk about training, service, and the future of our first responders, it's important to talk about our police department and the many positive strides they've made in the last year. Public safety is a key benchmark in economic development and overall quality of life. Our police department has grown, adapted, and endeavored to serve this city at an exceptional level. Since 2016, we have hired 40 new officers, some of those adding to our overall number of officers, and most replacing officers that have retired. But this much change and growth is tremendous for a police department our size. For our officers to be able to do their jobs, they must have up-to-date working equipment. Through smart budgeting, we've been able to purchase 48 new police vehicles. We recently received 9 of those, and they're getting decals and being fitted for service even as we speak. The investment in our fleet is only part of the equation. It's also essential we continue to invest in radios, protective wear, and other essential tools. Growing and equipping our police force in this way was a lofty goal 5 years ago and a huge task to undertake. Through teamwork and collaboration with our Common Council, excellent leadership within the department, and a commitment to public safety, we've been able to make these goals a reality. Bringing on new officers and equipping them to serve Richmond also comes with a responsibility to review policy and expectations of professional conduct and properly train and educate these women and men on how to work within these guidelines to ensure their and the public safety. Each time our officers take a call, the response and outcome are reported and later compiled into an annual report that is made available to the public. Last year, our police department took in just over 41,000 calls for service. Let's take a look at how that data has been tracked over the past 5 years. In 2015, Richmond had 61 cases of robbery. In 2020, that number was reduced to 17. In the same time frame, burglaries have dropped from 395 to just over 100. Crimes against property have seen a large reduction, dropping from over 2,000 to 894. If you compile the whole data sheet, you'll see that overall crime in 2015 topped out at 2,200 incidents. In 2020, that number was cut by more than half. On the drug front, we closed 12 drug houses just last year alone and arrested 35 high-level drug dealers. On top of that, a large amount of drugs were seized and removed from our neighborhoods. All of this is a testament to the leadership in our police department and a continued commitment to intelligence-led policing. We'll continue working to take the drugs off the streets. However, it's a community-wide effort to work at removing the social stigma around addiction. We must encourage those who are suffering to connect with available resources and navigate through proper recovery. We've lost far too many of our family members, our friends, and neighbors to the disease of addiction. And only in working together can we turn this trend around. In 2020, Of those 41,000 calls for service, only 329 resulted in arrest, which accounts for less than 1% of total calls to our department. When we see firsthand that less than 1% of total calls result in arrest, it becomes clear that Richmond's officers are committed to community policing and conflict resolution. Our officers view their role in this community as much larger than just making arrests. When we talk about their commitment to a healthy and safe community, it's important, as it always should be, that we have an open discussion about our police department's response as it deals with race in our city. Today, our Richmond Police Department remains closely involved with community discussions around racism and our evaluations of our policies and best practices. We at the City of Richmond have a strict non-discrimination policy, and it's critical we continue to evaluate our internal procedures and training to ensure we operate with the best interests of all community members in mind. Later this year, our police department will engage in an in-depth, highly personalized training on communication and de-escalation, specifically when engaging with diverse populations. I know that our department is dedicated to continued learning and education, and we'll have more to share on this topic later as the training unfolds. However, I have complete confidence this training and education will mesh well with our department's dedication to serving Richmond. For this work, there is no finish line. However, we'll continually strive to serve Richmond at a high standard. One more piece that I want to highlight is working to educate you on the importance of protecting and serving your neighborhood, serving the people and places in our beautiful city that you cherish. We continue to strive to be a more diverse department. However, we still face challenges on that front. My hope is that you see the great work this department does every day and want to be a part of crafting its future. And if you see things about the department you think should change, I encourage you to be that change. Our police department will only ever be as strong as your passion to take a role from within and build its future with us. Clean and safe parks, a repaired and updated infrastructure, and increased public safety all play key roles in attracting people to our beautiful city. Another critical component of attraction is our current economic landscape. As we take a look at our local economy, there are several important points to discuss. First and foremost, as you all know, the financial impact of COVID-19 has reverberated throughout our local, national, and even global economy. Some of our local business owners have been put under financial constraints that they never could have anticipated. As they continue to find their way through these unprecedented challenges, your local officials have explored all options and avenues to ease their hardship by leveraging local, state, and federal dollars to support their tireless efforts to keep our local economy vital. In partnership with Wayne County Government, our EDC, the Economic Growth Group, Center City Development Corporation, and the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, we were able to offer them zero-interest loans and grants. Because of this, in 2020, 31 locally owned businesses received a total of $726,000 in 0% loans. This is just a fraction of our overall efforts and the funds that have been made available. We've also provided $250,000 in grants and a $45,000 restaurant subsidy program. Additionally, federal money was made available through application in the Payroll Protection Act, which infused $17.4 million into local businesses, including those enterprises with 5 employees or fewer, and local nonprofits. In all, these programs helped to retain over 2,500 local jobs. Providing assistance to local business is essential, but only a portion of the path to recovery. The other portion is helping people like you overcome financial challenges from the pandemic. In 2020, during the height of the pandemic, over 200 local households received over $500,000 in rental assistance. Looking forward, we are continuing our essential partnership to provide rental assistance, foreclosure prevention, and utility bill assistance. Whether you're a business owner or a resident here in Richmond, if you're struggling with financial constraints brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, please visit our city website at richmondindiana.gov and to find the help that's right for you. We're doing what we can to lessen the negative impact of COVID-19. However, to truly make a remarkable impact, it will take all of us working together. Today, Our local businesses, our locally owned restaurants, bakeries, coffee shops, boutiques, and service organizations need us more than ever. Let's continue to do our part and keep our money local as much as possible. Over the past few years, we've talked a lot about the heart of our city, the downtown and the depot districts. We've made investments and started on key projects to enhance and revitalize our downtown and bring more people into the core of Richmond. As you know, Phase 1 of the Loop is completed and Phase 2 is scheduled for future development. This project is meant to provide connectivity throughout downtown, the depot, Elstro Plaza, Star Jeanette Plaza, Veterans Park, the Cardinal Greenway, and more. This vital connectivity will play a critical role as we continue developing this area. For many years, there's been an ongoing conversation about which effort to tackle first, to get more people to live downtown or to get more businesses downtown. The answer to this question is to make new efforts on each front and forge a prosperous path for our city. About a year ago, I had an idea that I believed could be a spark for a true renewal of our downtown landscape. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about that idea and then the work that has gone into making that vision a reality. So many times as I've driven, walked, shopped, or jogged through downtown, just like you, I've taken time to appreciate the beautiful and historic buildings that line our streets. In an interesting dichotomy, the greatest asset of those buildings is also their greatest hindrance. They are authentic snapshots of the past, historic and full of character. It's their greatest attraction point. However, because of their age, the upfront costs of many of those buildings can simply be too much to manage. If you're a small business entrepreneur, purchasing a building, replacing the windows, fixing electrical issues, replacing damaged plumbing, and so on can be far too much to tackle. Some have taken on this heavy burden, and out of their personal passion and their dedication to Richmond and through sheer hard work, they've been successful. However, if our aspiration as a community is to see local small business occupy those storefronts in larger numbers, then it's time to take a big step in alleviating some of that initial risk and make it an attractive endeavor to invest in one of those historic buildings. This thought was the initiative for the new PLACE program. PLACE is an acronym for Placement Loans Accelerating Companies and Entrepreneurs. After much hard work with our local team and collaboration at the state and federal level, the PLACE program, which was just a dream 18 months ago, is now a part of the city's revolving loan fund, which, as you may already know, provides gap funding to small businesses when they need to make large investments and have not been able to secure the full amount needed through a traditional bank loan. Today, the revolving loan fund will play a critical role in revitalizing our downtown landscape as we embark on a brand new initiative. Now, on top of being able to fulfill the traditional role of assisting in gap funding, through the PLACE program, they will have the ability to loan a building. So how does this work? Utilizing funds from Redevelopment Commission, a building would be acquired and the necessary upfront renovations would be made to take that cost off of small business. This renovation process is called white boxing and basically means everything is up to code and is a blank slate for the new business. They can now take the building at much less risk, paint, decorate, and start welcoming customers. Once accepted into the PLACE program, the new tenant would begin a ballooning repayment process. In the first year, the tenant would only be responsible for 25% of the total mortgage cost. The second year, it'll rise to 50%. The third year, 75%. And in the fourth year, the subsidy ceases. And the new occupant will have the opportunity to take all payments they've made, apply them to the principal cost of the building, and pursue financing options to buy out the remainder. This program will include incentives for those business owners that choose to live above the shop. If successful, this will not only put entrepreneurs back into the buildings, but will also further entice downtown livability and will put ownership back into accountable local hands. Now, let's say that for some reason the small business is not successful. Then the building will be white boxed again and will return back to the program awaiting a new tenant. If we've done our part to stimulate and open the small business pipeline, we should have no issue finding the next tenant ready to make the leap into a storefront. Tonight, I am excited to announce to you that we have chosen our pilot building. We've made an offer, and that offer has been accepted. The PLACE program will officially kick off with the historic Reedmore building at 901 East Main Street. The Reedmore was built in 1880 and originally served as a merchant tailor shop. It would later host Hook's Drugs from 1900 to 1964 when it officially became Reedmore Bookstore. Over its 140-year life, it has had several owners and uses. Once the namesake Reedmore Coffee and Magazine shop moved out in the late 90s, it failed to land a dedicated investor. For years, the beautiful Italianate architecture has been left to crumble with no windows on the second floor. Starting soon, work will begin to breathe new life into the Reedmore, and it will once again house a downtown local business. There will certainly be a lot to learn along the way. However, the Reedmore will serve as simply the pilot concept in what will become a larger initiative to take hold of our future. This is a brand new approach that until now has not been undertaken. I believe wholeheartedly that Richmond has tremendous yet untapped potential, and I know that by taking some new approaches to these same old issues, we can find new ways to succeed. As we watch the success of the PLACE program unfold, other exciting projects are starting to take shape. In a short time from now, you will see work begin to remove the former Bradford Arms building on the corner of 12th and Main. Built in 1902, the Bradford was once a beautiful and remarkable place to call home. I, like you, have hated watching this beautiful piece of living history be neglected by its owners and left to deteriorate and fall into grave disrepair. With the help of our code enforcement department, we've been able to hold the former owners responsible for their negligence, take ownership of the building, and proceed with demolition. This will come as a long-awaited sense of relief for those who have had to wrestle with the current condition of that building for far too long. The current condition of the Bradford and its subsequent demolition is quite unfortunate, and it highlights the importance of the PLACE program and the onus upon us to capture our downtown buildings and invest in them before we lose them. It also represents our small first steps at the revitalization of the eastern corridor into downtown. This work will continue, and you'll continue to see improvements made as we push forward. Another important project is the demolition of the former Mechanics Laundry in the Depot District. This building has been vacant since 1999, and although we have all come to love the train mural on the facade of the building, it is time to forge ahead. In the near future, removal of this structure will commence, and the construction of a new 50-space parking lot will begin. This parking will further enhance the Depot District as it continues to grow, thrive, and serve as an essential part of the Richmond experience. Richmond is a city surrounded by living history, and our Depot District allows citizens and visitors alike a unique opportunity to stroll through beautiful buildings, go shopping, grab some great food, some coffee, art, and more, plus the chance to visit an architectural treasure in our 1902 Pennsylvania Railway Train Depot, designed by famed architect Daniel Burnham. These are just some of the reasons Richmond remains a destination for fellow Hoosiers and those looking for an authentic place to visit. As we welcome more people into Richmond and onto the Loop, it's important we leverage our natural scenery and Whitewater River as an attraction point. Cities across the country would love to have a river rolling right through their town, and it's time we work to make it easier to get back in touch with our water. This summer, an important step in that plan will take shape as construction will begin on the Whitewater Gorge Connector Trail, and it will connect the D Street trailhead of the Cardinal Greenway directly to the Whitewater Gorge Trail through our beautiful Veterans Park, bringing people into a special place that highlights the service of our brave veterans and walks them one step closer to enjoying the Whitewater River. In the future, the Loop will connect into this trail system, and Richmond will market life on the Loop with a unique opportunity to connect downtown, the Depot, Stargenet Plaza, the Whitewater Gorge Trail, Veterans Park, and the Cardinal Greenway, a 70-mile trail running north through Indiana just by stepping out their front door. There aren't many cities that will be able to offer such a vast array of experiences and a connected trail right to your doorstep. Richmond is sure to stand out as people look for cities in which to visit, move, or invest. When you take a step back and you look at these exciting projects, the stability of our local government, the important collaboration and partnerships in place, and our resilient spirit, it's easy to join me in believing Richmond is not only a great place to live, but also an attractive city to advertise and to welcome others. Most importantly, Richmond is a reflection of you. I may be the mayor, but you are the co-creators of this city, doing things every day, large and small, to make this an even better place to live for all of us. Every wonderful thing about this city is rooted in community. It's not the street names that make this home. It's the people that make the places special. Our dedication to that sense of community is our collective resilience. I've seen all of us work together to come through and accomplish so much, particularly in this last year. And I have no doubt that sense of community and that resilience will continue. I've said it many times before, but it always bears repeating. It's not our problems that are unique. Those are pervasive and common amongst thousands of cities. It's our ability to work together and solve those problems that makes us stand out. It makes us special. Let's keep working together. Let's keep believing in this beautiful and amazing place we call home, and let's keep Richmond rising. Thank you so much.
Mayor Snow, thank you once again for using In Focus as your place to help speak to the community. Obviously, there will be plenty of time to talk with Mayor Snow in the future about some of these plans, and as they begin to unfold, of course, we'll have him in and we'll have him live in here for 90 minutes so that he could take your questions and unpack more of this for you. One of the things the mayor did mention was the Parks Department and how hard they work. So I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you to take a look back at last week's In Focus when we had a chance to talk with Park Superintendent Denise Retz as well as Benjamin Willett about another piece of the City Parks Department, the upcoming bike park, and that is going to be reopening and look beautiful down in the Freeman Park area coming up later on this month. We'll take a break, come back with more In Focus as we continue on WGTV Channel 11.
I think Hills is a company that is concerned with the health and well-being of people's pets.
I understand the work and the dedication that the team goes into to produce this product and how much everyone who works here cares.
One thing that was important for me was to work for a company that makes products that I can believe in and be proud of. And we do that here.
To be successful at Hills, I think it takes somebody that just love learning, right, and love trying new things. Our processes, they're not difficult, but there's a lot to learn about them. There's a lot of talented people, a lot of knowledgeable people, and those people are willing to just share their knowledge with you.
The people I work with are good people. They're smart, they're nice, they're kind. They care about the quality of the product. We work well together. So whenever somebody needs help, others are willing to help someone.
It's hard to fail here. I mean, as long as you come in and try to do your best every day, you're going to be successful here.
Hills is a great company as far as taking care of their employees and making sure that they are very competitive in the local market as well as in the national market.
The monetary compensation is at the higher end of what's offered in the area. The health benefits and stuff are top notch. But the tuition reimbursement program was what I actually did take advantage of, and I recently received my associate's degree. So that's a big step for somebody, especially my age, to be able to go back and do that. And I was glad that the company afforded me that opportunity.
There is no limit to your career opportunities within a company our size. But here locally, there's a push to try to make sure that we continue advancing from a technology standpoint.
I think what this plant's always trying to do in this company is better the process, newer technology, and better nutrition for the pets.
We have opportunities at entry level, so people with no experience, as well as those that have been in the field for a while. Traditional roles for manufacturing, like operations, engineering, maintenance. And then we have less traditional roles that people might not think about in terms of manufacturing. We have people with experience in accounting, in chemistry, food science, and we're starting a pretty big focus on sustainability.
We were able to go to zero waste to landfill back in 2014. We put a lot of effort and a lot of time on recycling and how we affect the environment here, and I think that's probably one of the neatest things.
I grew up in a city that is about the same size as Richmond is. In this city, I have a little bit of everything that I need.
Being conveniently located next to Interstate 70 gives you the ability to be able to be in Indianapolis or Cincinnati within 45 minutes or an hour, but still have that small town feel.
The cost of living is so attractive, and not only the cost of living, but also the availability of education at all levels is extremely high compared to some other remote locations that we could have moved to.
I mean, it really does amaze me that we think this much about our pets, and that makes me feel good about it.
You can make great money working with great people, making a great product.
We produce top quality product, have premium processes with top-notch technology to ensure that what we're sending out the door is as good or better than anything else that's on the shelf.
Welcome back to In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. I appreciate you sticking around for what I hope will be some very vital information for people. Look, if you know someone who is seriously looking for a job, you should call them up, text them, do whatever, and tell them to watch this program. Or if they don't see it live, it'll be in replay this weekend or on our video on demand site, because the company that you just saw that video from, Hill's Pet Nutrition, has job openings that they are looking to fill. So I have with me Pam Fisher, who's the HR manager, and Steve Nelson, who is the operations manager. Thank you both very much for spending some time with me. I know that the people are going, okay, the state of the city into jobs, but you know, if people have good jobs, then the city moves along very well. I had a chance to talk to Pam Fisher, and she said, we have about 50 jobs that I want to fill, and I stopped her and went, 50? And she said, yes. So Pam, those 50 jobs, have you filled any of them, and what's that number down to?
So that 50 was a conservative number that I gave you, Eric. And we have filled some, but we still have 50 plus jobs available for the folks. Okay, 50 plus jobs. Send that text message now if someone's looking for a job. Before we get into the positions that you have open, tell us a little bit about Hill's Pet Nutrition, about the company itself. Steve, can you help me out?
Yeah, sure. I'll take that one. So Hill's Pet Nutrition has been around for over 100 years. It's a subsidiary of Colgate-Palmolive, and this plant has been here for 30 years. So what the company is about is really about science-based nutrition, and partnering with the parents of pets to try to partner with them from all stages of a pet's life, to really be there and provide science-based nutrition for animals, to lengthen their lives and to give them quality of life as well. What I'll say is that this business is growing. It was growing before the pandemic, but it's been growing. And what I'll also say is that this is an innovation company, and a company in general that's in general a caring company. So we care about what we do here. We care about our customers, our consumers, and also we care about the people in the building. When we see a video like we just saw with the smiling employees and everybody's happy to be there, you always kind of go, okay, those are hand-picked people and they're probably getting double overtime in order to be able to do that. Talk a little bit about the culture of the company as a whole and the plant here in Richmond, because those two things don't always
match up. Is this a place where someone can kind of come in from the outside cold, maybe they don't have manufacturing background, and feel comfortable and really kind of find their way and find a place in this business?
So I'll talk a little bit about the values. So the company values is really about caring. It's about continuous improvement, and it's about teamwork. And you'll actually find that from all the way to the top to our CEO and the CEO of Colgate and the president of Hills. So what I'll say is that you will find that translated down to the Richmond site. And one of the reasons why we have so many openings is because the people who helped start up the plant 30 years ago have stayed with the company and now are finding that they can retire. So and historically there haven't been a lot of jobs open at the site because people stay here for a long time. I've actually been with the company for 13 years. And that's one of the reasons why I've stayed. I've traveled all around the company and around the country, and have traveled around the world. And what I'll say is that every single Colgate facility, whether it's in Vietnam or it's in Guatemala or here in Richmond, has a similar feeling, and that you really walk in and say, okay, this is a people company, and there's something different about this company. So how that translates is that it's not just about what we do, it's also about how we do it.
It sounds like that passport has been used a lot, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Pam, talk to us about specifically some of the job openings that you have, and particularly for people who are watching. When they say, I don't have manufacturing background, I don't have science background, how can I fit in and what can I do here? Talk about what specifically you're looking for from an employee.
So we have all sorts of positions open, Eric. We have entry-level technician positions, maintenance, quality. We have other salary support roles. It really goes the whole gamut of someone's career. We will teach somebody coming in with no manufacturing experience exactly how to make kibble, as we refer to it here. We will teach them all aspects of the job. They go through an intense training program, and we will continue to support them throughout their career. If they want to be promoted, we will offer opportunities for promotion. We offer tuition reimbursement, $10,000 for tuition reimbursement, whether that be a degree or a special certification. When Steve says that this is a different sort of company that cares for their employees, Colgate Hills puts their money where their mouth is. Benefits start from day one, regardless of what position you're in, whether you're the HR manager, the technician on the floor, benefits start from day one, and the benefits are the same.
Is this one of the jobs that people need to go through a temporary service? I know a number of the organizations have to do that.
So we don't believe in that. We believe in hiring direct. So someone who would be interested in applying would go to www.jobs.colgate.com, and then they would search for the jobs in Richmond. And this is sort of another benefit to working at Colgate or at Hills, is that you can start it at Richmond, but if your heart's desire is to work in Europe or go to South Carolina or end up in Kansas, you can apply for any job internally once you're an employee at Hills.
What's the kind of background that's needed? There's this conversation between whether people need to do some additional college, some additional classes, or whether they can actually just walk into a facility like this, maybe right out of high school. What's the experience level that's needed for some of these openings?
So for most of the openings, a high school diploma or equivalent is sufficient. And again, like I had said in the beginning, we will train you to do your job. We will give you the tools and resources to do your job. As Steve had mentioned, we have many people who have been here the whole 30 years, and they can show you all the ins and outs. For some who have college, maybe they have a college degree, maybe they have a special certification, there may be a niche job that they'd be qualified for. But the majority of our jobs just need a high school or equivalency.
Testing is part of this. What does someone need to do or know in order to be able to just kind of step in? They fill out the application, they go through. Are you all doing face-to-face interviews right now, or these Zoom? Talk a little bit about the process.
So we do face-to-face interviews. We have our space set up with COVID friendly guidelines, and although a lot of the restrictions are starting to be lifted, we continue in these types of events to keep our social distance, to have masks and sanitation procedures. There is a testing process where we look at somebody's mechanical ability so that we can better place them within the organization. But between the interview and that assessment, we find the right fit.
Okay. As talk about, I know that Steve mentioned that some of these openings are because of retirements, people that have been there for 30 years plus. Is business continuing to be that good, though, for that you all are adding that many? I mean, you all had 50 plus people retire in the last year, or has your business really kind of grown during this? I know there've been talk that people have gotten more pets during the pandemic.
Yeah. So retirements are part of it, but only a small part. And I think what you're alluding to is absolutely right. So Hills is growing. And so the pet industry in general is seeing some growth, but Hills, as far as our market share, we're growing market share as well. So the growth started actually a while back, even before the pandemic. And we were able to do some things from a business perspective in order to continue that growth through the pandemic. So we see just more good things ahead for us.
Steve, you mentioned that you've been with the company for a while, that you've traveled around. Is your story normal for somebody within this company? And talk about where you started to where you are now.
Yeah, so I would say that yes, my story is normal, and you see a mix. You see a mix of things. So where I started was so I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I came into the company straight out of college, and I had the opportunity to do some traveling with the company, and was able to land here, and have been here for 2 years. So what you'll find is you'll find a good mix of people who are willing to travel, and also people who said, hey, I really like Richmond, and this is the place that I want to stay. And even with that, we have even members of our leadership team who started out as technicians on the floor, got their degree while working, and have ascended to a leadership level position, all here within the facility. So you'll see a good mix, and I think with the company really has the value of you own your own career. So no one said, hey, Steve, it's time to go. Let's go to Richmond. It's really you own your own career, and the place that you want to go is really up to you and what you want to do.
Nice. Pam, we've got just a couple of minutes left, and I know that there's always some concern for people when they talk about jobs and good paying jobs, and is it enough for me to go back to work, be able to deal with childcare, transportation, some of the things that have been barriers for some people getting work.
Great.
Can you talk in general the kind of salary range or hourly pay range that
Sure.
the jobs you're talking about are getting for you?
So our entry-level jobs start around $18.50. And as I had said before, it comes with benefits from day one. So you get big company benefits working at a small factory. That means health and dental. That means vision, 401, tuition reimbursement, 3 weeks of vacation, a lot of assistance and resources to help people navigate through life for their children, for their spouse, for their families. Hills really does put a lot of thought in behind caring for their employees and making sure they're being taken care of as they make product for our pets. As you progress, raises are awarded upon certification in different jobs. And again, we provide that training and that support to do that. We want people to do well. We want people to succeed and move up. Makes everybody's life a little bit brighter.
Is there anything that I have not asked you all, we're down to our last couple of minutes, that you want to make sure gets out, either about the company, about the positions that you have available? I'll give you each a little bit of time to go through whatever it is that you need to start with. Steve, we'll start with you. Anything that you want to make sure people know? I think you're muted.
First, where the mute button is. but so really just to highlight those things. I think that this is a company and a facility that will be here for a long time, and there's an opportunity here to come in and get something that can turn into a career, and the company will support you to be the best operator, to be the best technician, to be the best engineer or business partner that you can be, and you know there's no time like the present. So go ahead and apply. We look forward to seeing you here.
Okay, Pam. Before I asked you to do that, one thing I didn't ask. I know you all have said you all are busy. Does that mean these shifts are all hours of the day? Are you running on a kind of 24/7 schedule at this point, or are you building up to that? Is that why some of these jobs are available?
So yes, we are adding an additional shift. We'll be working to a 7-day schedule. So folks will be working a version of a 2-2-3 schedule, very common in manufacturing. Again, looking to balance work and job requirements. We really don't want people working lots of overtime. We want them to have work-life balance. So that's one of the main reasons why some of these positions are open.
Is there anything else you need people to know before I let you go?
I think, like Steve had mentioned, these jobs are not just jobs. This is a career. We want people who want to come and make this a career, who want to grow, whether they become a leader and manager or just grow their technical skill. We want people to be here as committed as the people who were here 30 years ago to open this company, to make it as great as it is today and contribute to the Richmond community.
Okay. If they look around at various places, they may find little cards like that with cute little puppies on the front. You know, you gotta like puppies. And one of the things you have in the corner is a QR code that will take people, I assume, right to the application process?
Right to the website, as I mentioned earlier, the jobs.colgate.com. Take them right there and they can apply to whatever job interests them.
And if they find one of those cards, there is little itty bitty writing on the back, but I like the front with the little puppies. I appreciate you all taking some time and talking with me. I really do. This is a great opportunity for a lot of people in the community, and I hope that you get all of those jobs filled. Pam Fisher, HR Manager, Steve Nelson, Operations Manager, Hills Pet Nutrition, a Colgate company. Thank you both very much. I appreciate the time and the great information.
Thank you so much for having us, Eric.
Glad to do it. A couple of things I want to remind you of before we get out of here. There are things that are going on in the community that you want to know about. So we are here to try to help bring those to you. And also remember that if your not-for-profit organization is having an event, and I know that more and more organizations are beginning to do some things, we're here to help you do that. So send us your information. If you've got a flyer for your event, just send it to us. Email it to us at wctv@iue.edu, or you can go to our website, WCTV.info, and look for our bulletin board information. You can fill it out right there, and we'll get it to us at least 2 weeks ahead of time. If you do it 3, that's even better. We'll put it out there and let folks know what's going on. Some of the things that you will be able to find: JUCO is coming back this year after taking last year off due to the pandemic. Richmond Parks and Recreation Department having JUCO, so you can join them for another summer of Just Us Kids Outdoors. It is a free summer day camp that gives kids a great chance to have a whole lot of fun, grades 1 through 6. That is going to be May 31st through July 9th, and you're asking me, why are you doing JUCO so early? We are into the month of May, and you know, summer is going on. A couple of ways to do that. Last week we talked to Denise Retz from the Richmond Parks and Recreation Department. She talked about a lot of their things going online that you can sign up for. You can see there on the screen, parks.richmondindiana.gov. You can register online, or you can call the Parks Department at 983-7275. Denise also mentioned that there would be some cleanups coming up. Their next one is coming up May 21st and 22nd, Middle Fork and the North End on Friday, May 21st from 10 to 3, Saturday the 22nd from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Again, you can sign up, parks.richmondindiana.gov. Bring your own gloves. Closed-toed shoes are required. That is highly important. They are worried about safety. Tools, trash bags, snacks, water will be provided. Celebrating birds through art through Cope Environmental Center. They're hosting an art show featuring birds through photography, ceramics, fiber art, and a whole lot more. Stop by anytime during the month of May, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to view the exhibit. 1730 Airport Road, if you're not familiar. Also online, you can check them out, copeenvironmental.org. The Martha Dwyer Community Center is having their diaper giveaway, something that they do on the third Thursday of every month. This one is going to be on May 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can call to arrange a pickup time, 765-488-2928, and bring identity, social security card, something along those lines. Flavor of Wayne County, going on, presented by Three Rivers. This is with the Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce and Hype, May 21st from 6 to 10, the parking garage in Richmond. And want to remind you that Read Beside You airs Thursday evenings at 8 o'clock on WETV Channel 20. This month, they're speaking with Craig Kenyon, Dr. Joseph Clemente, and Tom Hilkert from Read Health. They're talking about the new vision, mission, and values statement, and that will be our conversation next week on In Focus here on WGTV Channel 11. We're having Craig Kenyon, Dr. Clemente, Tom Hilkert, and Jennifer Ayers is also going to join us next week. So thank you very much for watching this week's In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. As always, I wish you well. Have a great weekend.